Boston is one of those cities that grabs you fast. Blink, and you are walking past red brick row houses, cafe lines full of college sweatshirts, and a skyline that looks equal parts historic and brand new. If you are thinking about moving here to study, to work, or to invest, stay with me. In the next few minutes, you will get the truth about rents, home prices, commuting costs, internet options, typical salaries, and two real monthly budget scenarios, one for a solo renter and one for a family of three. By the end, you will know whether Boston is a stretch now, pay off later city for you, or a visit and love it from afar city. Let's start with what hits your wallet first. Rent. Across the city, a typical one-bedroom apartment averages around $3,300 per month, while three-bedroom places often land near $4,500 per month. Students crowd into Allston, Brighton, Mission Hill, and Fenway for a reason. Access to campuses and the Green Line keep commutes short, but those neighborhoods price inconvenience. If you are willing to expand the map to East Boston, Dorchester, or parts of Jamaica Plain, you can sometimes shave a few $100s off your monthly rent, especially if you split with roommates. Thinking about buying instead? Boston's typical home value sits roughly in the mid-700s, about $766,000 citywide. Recent sales data show a median sale price around $825,000, with a median price per square foot around $640. Translation: entry tickets are high, and square footage is precious. In the downtown core and Back Bay, prices push past the $1 million mark with ease, while East Boston and South Boston offer more range. Homes usually move in about 1 month, so if you find a good one, you won't have the luxury of thinking for long. Property taxes here are not the budget breaker some expect. Boston's residential tax rate for the current fiscal year comes out to just over 1% of assessed value. Think roughly $10 and change per $1,000. It varies by year, but that ballpark is a fair guide. Condo association fees, on the other hand, range widely by building. Elevators, doormen, and amenities all add up. So budget several $100s per month if you are buying a condo. Utilities are a pain point in New England. Electricity in Massachusetts ranks among the highest in the country. Think roughly 30 cents per kilowatt hour, which places a typical monthly electric bill for a modest apartment somewhere in the mid-100s before you add water and sewer. A realistic all-in monthly utilities estimate for many renters lands around $250 to $300, depending on apartment size, insulation, and how much you cook or run AC. The good news: internet is fast and competitive. Xfinity routinely advertises 300 megabit plans in the $40 to $55 per month range, and Verizon Fios posts 300 megabit fiber around $50 to $60 per month with auto pay. Students doing heavy uploads for studio, coding, or media classes may want to step up to 500 megabits or a gig, still pretty reasonable compared to rent. Now, mobility. Boston is very much a transit city. The MBTA subway and bus system covers most student corridors, and a monthly link pass typically sits around the high 2 digits for unlimited local rides. If you insist on driving, brace for downtown garage rates that commonly land in the low to mid-400s per month, with some public options a bit lower in certain garages. Average one-way commute times hover right around half an hour, which means choosing a neighborhood close to your campus or job is a major quality of life move. Insurance matters here. Car insurance in Boston is not cheap. Recent averages sit in the mid-2000s per year for full coverage, and young drivers or those with tickets will see more. For homeowners or condo owners, policy costs vary with coverage and building specifics, but the state's average homeowner's premium cites in the low thousands per year, with condo HO6 policies often lower. If you are renting, a renter's policy is usually just a few $100s a year and absolutely worth it. Let's talk money coming in. Boston's economy is powered by healthcare, higher education, professional and scientific services, and finance. If you work in tech, the median pay for software developers nationally sits in the low 100s, and the Boston Metro runs higher than that national median. Healthcare roles like registered nurses sit in the low to mid-90,000s nationally and are also strong locally. And high school teachers land in the mid-60s nationally. Salaries vary by employer and experience, but the point stands. Knowledge economy jobs pay well here, which is why so many grads try to stick around. How much of that salary do you keep? Massachusetts has a flat state income tax of 5% for most filers, plus an additional surtax on income above $1 million. There is no separate city income tax in Boston, but sales and meal taxes apply, and property tax rates change annually. Your federal withholding will be the bigger driver of take-home pay in most cases. Health coverage is its own line item. Employer family premiums now average just shy of $27,000 per year nationwide, with workers kicking in roughly $6,850 toward that total, and deductibles around the high 1,000s for single coverage. If you shop on the Massachusetts Health Connector instead, bronze tier premiums average in the high 400s per month before any subsidies, though actual costs depend on age and income. All right, let's put the pieces together with two quick budget snapshots you can pause and replay. Scenario 1. Solo student or early career renter. Picture a one-bedroom near a Green Line stop at roughly $3,300. Add $275 for utilities, $55 for internet, and let's say $80 to $90 for an MBTA monthly pass. Groceries and basics can easily hit $500 to $600 per month, and a modest eating out and coffee budget might add $200 to $300. All in, you are looking at roughly $4,500 to $5,000 per month for a comfortable but not extravagant life. More if you keep a car or go out a lot. Less if you share a place with roommates and cook at home. Scenario 2. Family of 3 renting. A 2 to 3 bedroom in a family-friendly area could land near $4,500 per month. Utilities in a larger unit might run $300 to $350. Internet sits around $50 to $60. If you keep one car for school drop-off and weekend trips, budget roughly $2,600 per year for insurance, call it just over $200 per month, plus fuel and possible street parking, or a cheaper garage outside downtown. Health insurance through an employer could take around $6,850 out of your pocket annually for family premiums, about $570 per month, plus whatever deductible and co-pays your plan requires. Groceries for 3 can easily land north of $900 per month in Boston's price environment. This scenario commonly totals $6,000 per month and up, depending on lifestyle. Now, strategy, especially if you are a student. Roommates are the #1 lever to pull. Turning that one-bedroom plan into a 2 or 3 bedroom split can drop your personal housing cost by 4 figures each month. Second, pick your T-line before you pick your apartment. Allston and Brighton tie to Boston College and BU. Mission Hill is great for Longwood Medical Area students. Fenway is steps from Northeastern, Berkeley, and more. East Boston works for downtown and seaport jobs with Blue Line access. If you know you will be in labs late, being 2 stops from home is worth real money in rideshare savings. For buyers, the math is simple, but unforgiving. With a typical home in the mid-700s, even a 20% down payment means 6 figures in cash before closing costs. Add in that just over 1% property tax and variable condo fees if you are buying in a larger building. If you are planning to house hack, live in one bedroom and rent the others, focus on neighborhoods with strong student demand and easy transit, because vacancy risk kills returns faster than anything else. Let's zoom out. Why do people still choose Boston with all these costs? Opportunity and density. You have world-class hospitals, research labs, venture-backed startups, and blue-chip finance blocks apart from each other. You can change jobs without changing cities. If you are in healthcare, tech, biotech, finance, education, or public policy, the network effect here is real, and it shows up in your career compounding over 5 or 10 years. Quick money-saving tips to close the loop. 1. Lock in internet deals with price guarantee packages when you can. 2. If your classes or job are close to a blue bike station, the annual membership can replace a chunk of Uber rides and even some T-rides in good weather. 3. If you absolutely need a car, compare insurance quotes aggressively. Boston's spread is wide. 4. Plan housing far in advance. Student-heavy areas turn over in a rhythm, and shopping off-cycle helps. So, is Boston worth it? If you are here for a program, a residency, or a job track that rewards proximity, where being one coffee away from the right mentor can change your year, the answer is often yes. If you are purely optimizing for square footage and sunshine, the answer might be not right now. Either way, you now have the numbers, the neighborhoods, and the trade-offs. Drop a comment with the next city you want me to break down. And if this helped, share it with a friend who is Boston curious.